Hello everybody, and what the fuck are you looking at? I thought it'd be fun if we go through my old art on my DeviantArt account from like circa 2002, 2003. This is when you were all little babies, and I was trying to make art, mostly fan art. This is something I've spoken about in videos here and there. Since 12 years ago. You can see Deviant for 12 years. This is my account, the Switcher. So I'm putting it all out there. I thought some of you would enjoy seeing this weird slice of my life because I don't really, not really in there anymore. And I'll explain that by just speaking this little journal entry here. It would probably do a better job than I could right now. Hi, I'm Matt from Super Best Friends Play. If you're here, that means you've dug up and found this ancient DeviantArt account because I probably mentioned one of my Let's Plays or whatever. Congrats on finding this secret part of my life. While I don't draw anymore, I still am super passionate about all things creative, and I'm really glad Let's Playing has still kept me in touch with immensely more talented people than myself when designing title cards, intros, animations, etc. Please go through my gallery and look at my amateurish art from like 15 years ago. Well, 12. Point and chuckle at these humble beginnings. So, what are my interests going on? I like Wayne Barlow, William Blake, Alvin Lee. This shows where my mind is. A lot of Udon artists. Andrew Jones, who, God, he was a concept artist for Metroid Prime. And Kinyu Nishimura of Capcom fame, Shigeru Akiman. Here are my favorite movies. Oh, God, here we go. Fucking Transformers 1. Like the Michael Bay. Oh, that's when this fucking DVD... Red Dragon, Gladiator, Kingdom of Heaven, Sin City, and Superbad. All your aughts favorites. Here's my favorite bands. Metallica, Stone Sour, Slipknot, AFI, System of a Down, Audioslave, Belvedere, and The Servant. Oh, God. My favorite writers were Thomas Harris and Garth Ennis, of course, of Punisher fame. And, of course, my favorite games are Street Fighter 4 and Resident Evil 4. And my favorite gaming platforms at the time with the Wii, the Xbox 360, and the DS. And I like drawing, video games, music, and anime. So while we go through my gallery, see what we got. I got my favorites over here. It's been a little while since I've been on DeviantArt, so I don't say, yeah, there's some Overwatch cosplay. This is Farah. Yeah, the last time I was here, I was like, hey, Overwatch, I like that shit. Let's see what's going on there. So we have some just random photos that I uploaded a few months ago. Here we have a Jet Jaguar on my desk. That's cool. Here's, of course, a picture of me and my stepbrother, Brendan Williams, when we went to WrestleMania. Right out of picture shot is Takahata 101, other members of Team 4-Star. Very, very nice to invite me to Texas for that WrestleMania. I forget which one it was. 31? I don't know. So there's Brennan. Look at him, looking all perfect and shit. Fuck him. What else we got? Of course, we got a picture of Lilu and Zaku. They're doing a good job, just doing the cat thing. Here, of course, is my cosplay from when I went to MagFest a few years back. I am dressed as Tom Cruise, I believe. No, it's Tiger Millionaire. Here's a picture of me and some woman. I don't know how I tricked her into marrying me. That's crime teen. Look at me. I don't know what am I doing? I look weird. This is taken with my really nice camera, though, so it does look nice. A nice little blurry, artsy shit in the background. So here's the first piece I thought we'd... Here's the first piece of fan art I thought we'd talk about. This is a Pred Alien I did... probably shortly after the fucking Requiem came out. So you can see that I was just like, well, I like the Pred Alien, I guess. So I used Photoshop back then. I forget which version of it. And I was always trying different gimmicks and shit. I never really had a style or anything. I would just do whatever. That's where, I mean, I had some frustration as an artist because I never really developed any kind of style at all. I just kind of drew whatever and whatever was pleasing me at the time, with no, like, consistency. You know, I would try making it really realistic. I would try drawing anime, and I never really found a voice, per se. Not that you absolutely need one, but I didn't really think about it that much, even though I wanted to be an artist at some point. I did go to college, an art program, but look, it just resulted in me drawing the Pred Alien. Here we have Maximus from Gladiator. You can see that this is one of those backgrounds I was talking about. I just put way too much bloom and way too much white light. This is probably a movie still, looks like it. But yeah, I tried to draw Maximus. Love Gladiator still to this day. I think Russell Crowe looks like he's kind of fucking melting. I'm not sure. It does kind of look like him, but this wonky eye, I don't know. His hair looks good, I think. And the rest of his armor looks fine. You can see I've really fudged details on the armor or whatever. Couldn't really get, you know, really high-res shots of Gladiator at the time to kind of see what he was going. There should be shadows underneath this fucking armor. It should be all dark up there. I don't know what I was thinking. Blood splatter, that's most likely just a fucking Photoshop brush. I just splattered on him a bit there. Did some on the sword over there. Lots of snow. I do feel that it makes me think of the movie Gladiator, but I mean, this angelic white halo around him, I don't know. But this definitely shows the type of stuff that I would put on this DeviantArt account. It's just fucking, what did I like at the time? Movies and some video games and some music and blah 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 blah. So yeah, here's my Russell Crowe fan art. Here's a weird self-portrait of me. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was looking up at a light and I took a picture. I had my sister probably take a picture of me, and I just kind of, it's kind of fucked up. Around here in the lips and my beardo, that doesn't look too bad. I can kind of see what I was going for with here, under my eyes, the shadow obviously being casted from the light. That was going down on my head, but I don't know what's with these ghostly ghost eyes. I don't know what the fuck these nightmare eyes is about. Here is, of course, a picture of Lulu I did. Lulu sitting pretty. Finally, something new from me. I started this quite a while ago, actually, back in April, but only now just finished. I can never get enough of that Lulu, and I really had fun putting the different light sources on her, even if they're massively incorrect. So you can see a zoom up here. Lulu, I think this is alright. It's bathed in a lot of blue. She's kind of too, I think she's a little too, like, supermodel-y. Really long neck, kind of super long, big shoulders. I think Lulu's always a little more stout, like, you know, a little shorter than this. This background, I think this is just that wooded area from Final Fantasy X. I just put shitloads of blur on. Lazy, like, Image Comics 1993, lady lips. Really shitty little nose. Her eye's not that bad. I think I did an okay job on the hair. This is all fucked up. All her necklaces look stupid. You see the heavy emphasis on yabos. I was really into them. And of course I got lazy with all her little embroideries on her sleeves. I don't know what type of pose she's doing. I guess she's like, my arm. Oh, it hurts so. And she's just kind of thinking about it. I don't know. Here, of course, is my rendition of the best box art ever made. Here's Double Dragon 2. I just love this piece of art so much that I was just like, I was just gonna redo it myself. I can do it. There's a lot of shiny on this. Probably too much. There's a light source on every single thing, even at wrong directions. It's all fucked up. Again, got lazy with the background. This is just a background from the actual game pack. Holy God, what the fuck's happening with Marion over here? I have no idea. Billy doesn't look too great either. He's got this little Cro-Magnon little nose going on. I don't really know. Jimmy looks pretty good, actually. This pose looks fine. I did his face okay. Looks pretty angry. A Bobo, or whoever this fuck is supposed to be, looks okay. But it's got a lot of weird soft light just coming from every single fucking direction. Still, though, I don't think it's terrible. I don't absolutely hate it, but it's not blowing me away. Here we have a little card I did for myself. You can see that I was really into Elite Beat Agents at the time. So I wanted to kind of homage that and be, I'm the guy with the problem, and the Elite Beat Agents need to come and save me. E-B-A. 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 Taking everything in stride, mostly. So I was 24 at the time of this. You see, even rocking my Punisher shit way back then. So yeah, that's about it. I used this as an avatar for a while. It's not too bad. I did do my own kind of splotchy red background, just showing general anger, general big problems happening. This is kind of cute, I have to admit. Oh, the tortured soul of man. So yeah, this is definitely a college thing that I probably did. This is just some naked dude with fucking arm tats and fucking stupid like barbed wire thing, and he's just lamenting his lot in life. I don't remember why I did this. Look at this fucked up foot. Honestly, this isn't too terrible. I think his hair looks good. The pose looks okay. Pretty lazy, splotchy background again. Oh, God, why did I do this? A piece I did for a band's website that a friend of mine from work is working on. Christ. I barely do this kind of stuff, but it was fun. I can't do fan art forever, which I, of course, did. Yeah, now I'm starting to remember this. There's a guy at my old work that had a band and asked if I could do something like along these lines. And yeah, this is what I came up with. Naked man. So here, of course, is Final Fight art. Some eagle-brained and eyed viewers out there might see that this has been used as a background for officially printed, well, not officially, but unofficially printed box arts that are like, you know, replicas or, you know, just new bindings for Super Nintendo games that you could buy at like cons or whatever. And this image was used for Final Fight 3. In fact, you can see this image a lot if you just Google Final Fight 3. This will come up kind of often. Websites have used it. Random YouTubers throughout the years have just used it as like a decent piece of Final Fight art because there's not that much of it, to be fair. But yeah, this is again kind of a slapdash background. I just used a fucking. I think I actually went into an emulator and removed some sprite layers and copy and pasted that in there. I think this background is actually from Final Fight 1, even though this was 3. So continuity error there. It's actually not that bad. This fucking awful blur on Lucia's foot is stupid. Dean looks pretty good. He has a little electricity there. Hagar is kind of weird. Something's coming at him. He's seeing something there. God, look at the size of his fucking hand. That's pretty standard for like Street Fighter art, I guess. And guys just launching out of some type of catapult from the ground and kicking nothing. Yeah, here's more Final Fight 2 art. And again, this was used a lot in various ways throughout the years on websites and whatnot. Like I mentioned with Final Fight 3, this is actually just me redrawing a pose from the, I want to say the Japanese manual or Japanese MOOC that I have that I think me and Willie have talked about in the past. It's not that bad. I think I went a little crazy with all the flesh lighting and just general shading. I didn't know what I was doing. There's a little bit of like a light source coming from down below that's kind of bluish, and then there's this little highlight of the sun hitting his flesh, but then there's I don't know what the fuck. But overall, I'm happy with Carlos and Hagar, but Mackie over here is just something wrong with her face. It's either a combination of her eye with her nose, but it just doesn't look quite right. But I tried my best, I guess, with this. You can see another background. This is actually interesting. I think this is like a Final Fight 2 background, which would be accurate for the game. But this is actually a layer of people from Street Fighter Alpha 1, I think. There's Cody right there just looking at them. So I just layered 2 layers on top of each other, layer. Don't know why there's a random blur on her hair, but whatever. Here, of course, is Midna from Twilight Princess. Fucking fell in love with her when I fucking finally beat that game. So I had to draw it at the time. I was like, yeah, fan art, that's what we do, right? We draw art of things that we like because we are fans. This is actually just like a basic shot from, I think, the cutscene where she turns around to Link and says something. Am I so beautiful? You have no words left. It's pretty good, actually. There's nothing outstanding about it. I don't know what's going on with her belly button. It looks a little weird. Looks like she just has this incision in her stomach. I don't know what's going on with that. I think this background I just kind of whipped together. I can't really remember. It looks kind of like I did. Just put random sparkles. Some random sparkles throughout for some reason. I don't think her like headpiece here is lying on her face correctly. There should be more little shadows underneath or whatever, but overall this is not bad. I'm showing it to you because I'm not embarrassed. Here's another solid snake. Jungle snake, yes, another snake drawing. I don't know, I've been meaning to do some different stuff recently, but I always seem to revert to my old preferences. Oh well. So yeah, it's just this actual naked snake proper, with the knife and the fucking headband and then the thing. His face looks kind of messed up. It does give the idea of Naked Snake and how they changed his model for Snake Eater a little bit. The gun is a little loopy. I'm gonna admit the fucking silencer barrel is on. It's kind of lopsided. It doesn't look like I drew it in a straight line. It's kind of wibbly wobbly. There's a lot of random blur throughout. His jacket, I think, looks quite nice. I think I actually did a good job with that. And again, random light sources. I don't know. There's this growing lake of mana. I guess that's right below his arm. That's casting these ghostly blue shadows, I guess. Overall, I think this is an improvement on the snake drawing that we saw before. Again, a blur on this hand. This hand is not that far away from the fucking viewer mat. It does not need to be blurred, and neither does the ripped parts from the bandana. What were you thinking? Here's an orc. I drew an orc from Warcraft. This is called Orcus Tundra. Yeah, I don't remember why I did this. I was playing Warcraft 3 a lot at the time, I remember. I think I forget where I saw, like, there was something that inspired me for this. A little random Guido chain around his neck. Of course, I got to throw some skulls and random patches onto a shoulder pad for some reason. Then this just junkyard steampunk shoulder pad makes no sense. I do believe I might have done this background by myself. This looks like a texture from something, but this does look like I sat there and did all these fucking little stars in the sky. I think this is pretty decent, actually. It doesn't, there's some parts of it. What the fuck is this? Why is he holding it with his fingertips? That makes no sense. Jesus Christ. Here's a picture of Kintaro. I was doing a lot of Mortal Kombat fan art back in the day. I think this is based, yeah, it's based on his Armageddon design, which I much preferred to his design in MK9. This is pretty good, actually. There are, again, some random light sources I feel that are out of nowhere. There's like a yellow one here. Then there's just pure white over there. But the pose is pretty good. His face is actually quite good. Like, very angry that he is the forgotten Shokan. But yeah, I have some Mortal Kombat. I used to do tons of Mortal Kombat back in the day, like even earlier before this DeviantArt account, when Deadly Alliance and all that shit came out. Again, a background that looks pretty Mortal Kombat-y, right? But it's actually from Samurai Showdown. I think Samurai Showdown 4 or 5 or something like that. I just kind of recolored it a little bit to be purple. But yeah, that's Kintaro. I don't think there's a lot of MK stuff on my DeviantArt, but we'll see. We'll see. Why didn't I shade this fucking vein correctly? Okami, Okami, Okami. So yeah, I was into Okami back then. I think this was definitely before I finished. It was either leading up to when it came out, or when I was still playing, because nowadays I really wouldn't do any art of Okami or do anything, because the longer I played Okami, I was more like, oh, please end. Not because it was bad, just I think Okami overstays its welcome. What I will say is I am happy with this background, because I do believe I did this background myself without you know, taking any existing sources or whatever. Just, I don't know what's with this fisheye lens when we make Okami art with our friends. This is obviously Photoshop, grass brushes, just liberally used, but it actually kind of works. It's a little blurry for my tastes. I think I was trying to replicate the sort of you know, water brush style of the game. I think Amaterasu's face is a little off. I think I could have done that better. The snout's kind of shitty, but the rest of it I actually quite like. It's not bad at all. What do I have to say about this? I'm playing through Okami right now. It's everything I thought it would be, but loads more fun. Oh, Matt. I already did an Amaterasu pick, but I wanted to do another one with much more energy. This pose was from the instruction booklet. Right. but it was super detailed, so I want to draw it in more of a style of the game. I don't really remember that. But yeah, no, this is probably the only piece of Okami art I've ever done. I don't understand what's going on with Emi's legs. I don't really know. It looks like it's basically a man, actually, that's crawling on all fours. Fuck me. Here, of course, is another piece of Warcraft art. Here is Illidan Storm Rage, who I was obsessed with at the time. Holy shit, did I get lazy with this fucking bladed weapon. His hand is just going into this fucking cookie tin. And, like, it makes no sense. I don't know what I was doing or what I was thinking. The rest of it's actually pretty good. This is a background I did myself, I can tell, because it's kind of lazy. But just put some snow particles on there. Just give the impression of trees, and there you go. It's lazy in some other spots, like his little cloaky shawl thing over here is not too great. The detail is pretty good. The shading's not awful. I do see some fucking stupidities going on over here. The blade looks wonky as fuck too. I don't know why I decided his bandana needed to have so much detail. But there it is. His ponytail actually looks quite nice. And his ears look pretty cool too. Still love you, Illidan. You did nothing wrong. Here we have a pretty. Hey, what's up? Oh, wow. This is actually pretty good. So I drew, I think this is from AVP. This is the, I just mixed and matched different things I liked. The first AVP had a couple of predators. The Celtic, the Chopper, and the Guardian, I think. And I put in two things that I liked. I think it was the Celtic. I don't know. The Celtic is the one with the fucking little symbol on his helmet that he scratched in there, saying "I killed the alien." But then I just put the fucking pikes with human skulls on there with just a random little elastic wrapped around. That makes sense. And that was from another predator. That was his armor sort of thing. And I just kind of put it in there. A lot of his hair makes no sense. There's hair that just disappears. The pike just disappears. It should be like behind there. They're just kind of nebulously hovering around this predator. I don't really know what the deal is with that. But I think the shading's pretty good. I don't understand. The blades should not be going in front of the hand. The blades should be directly above the hand. This is stupid. A mistake worthy of the Street Fighter USA cartoon. But the rest of it's pretty good. This little shadow's kind of weird, but I think this looks alright. This was a background done by me because, again, just fucking little sources of light and just stinky gases just going all over the place. That's my style, I guess. Here's, of course, another picture of Billy and Jimmy Lee of Double Dragon fame. And if you didn't know it was a Double Dragon, don't worry. I made sure to put a giant fucking stupid transparent logo for some reason. So, yeah, this is Billy and Jimmy taking on couple of dudes. You can see implied blurry enemy arms sticking out from the sides. There should be like some coloring either around these arms to make them stick out more, because otherwise it just looks like just random masses of flesh. They should pop. These should pop, or they should be faded in the background, or Billy and Jimmy should be popping more to make these stand out, I think. And I blurred them because they're closer to the eye. I don't know. A lot of the bandages are kind of fucking stupid. The expressions aren't great. I'm gonna give it that. The poses are fine. There's some stupid things going on with his collar and his little ripped armholes. But it's okay. These are kind of modeled after the GBA remake. Their designs that they got for that. Although I trimmed Jimmy's hair down a little bit. I didn't really like his hair in the remake that much because it's too similar to Billy's hair, but I kept Billy's hair, whatever. You can see this is just another background. This is directly from Street Fighter Alpha 1, but it's also the same background with the slight variation that I used for that Final Fight pick from a while ago. There you can see Cody there again. But I remember when I was using this, I was just like, I need to just imply there's tons of guys all over, and they're about to beat them up all because I love Double Dragon so much. So there you go. I don't know what the fuck this light is. It's so fucking intense. It looks like he's made out of lava. There's just this bubbling musculature of lava underneath his goddamn biceps. I don't what. Here we go. Some good old Berserko. So this is a picture of, obviously, Casca. She's pretty angry about her lot in life now. So yeah, this was a little mini insert poster that was in one of, I think, the localized. It might have been the no, I think it was in one of the non-localized, non-Dark Horse editions of the manga, where there's little fold-out posters, like barely the size of anything. And usually when I really wanted to try my hand at replicating something, I would trace it once on a kind of a piece of loose leaf or whatever, and then after I did that, I would then take another piece of paper and then not look at the original anymore and look at the one I traced. And then that's kind of how I weaned into it, sort of, when I really wanted to replicate a pose that I already seen that I liked. But also, that original drawing was in black and white, too. Oh, wait, no, was it? I can't remember if it was colored, actually, but I do remember going, I'm going to color it differently. So a lot of red. It just looks like he's just in the middle of a bunch of jello, kind of. Maybe he's cutting through. Maybe he's inside a monster or whatever. It's actually quite good, I think. I mean, for the time, I like all the billowing sort of capelets that are going around. I think I shaded those in okay. I think some of the red is a little overblown. But it's alright. A lot of detail. Dragon Slayer looks pretty good. I don't really understand why the blood just stops at the darkness. There should be blood splattered all over the thing. I got pretty lazy like that, like I tend to do. But I'm kind of happy with this, yeah. You can see I still love Godzilla. It's not like just a fad I caught on, if you could call it a fad. But yeah, I did Godzilla from GMK. There's parts of this that are absolutely stupid. This is clearly a real-world photo that I just photoshopped some fire in and just slapped Godzuki. Honestly, it's not too bad. I think I'd rather see this in black and white. The picture of Godzilla actually did. I can say it did put a lot of detail into the scales and such, and a lot of the yellow fire is just lighting him up a little bit. I kind of wish I had drawn my own back. I'm terrible at fucking drawing buildings and anything that requires some type of technical precision. It's never my forte, and you can see I definitely took some fucking liberties with this. But it's still kind of cool. There's an atmosphere to it. Godzilla looks scary. I don't think he kind of needed this like white haze around his eye. It's a little too much, but it's kind of cool. There you go. One more naked snake for y'all. This is based on a picture of an action figure of Snake, one of the more doll-like ones that had real fabric clothing. I think I kind of actually got Snake's expression down, especially with the color. You can see this big goofy shadow of a leaf above him right there. It's another background from Metal Gear Solid 3. His hair looks pretty damn good. I'm actually really happy with the way that looks. His jacket looks pretty good. There's a lot of shit going on here. There's random cross-hatching that I just kind of have there that doesn't look good, and I didn't fill it in correctly. But overall, I think this is pretty good. A lot of belts, a lot of straps, a lot of zippers, a lot of little pouches, almost Rob Liefeldian-esque. Another random shadow over there. I think these could have done better, kind of come out better than they are, but I'm really happy with his face. Looks pretty good. What do I have to say about Solid Snake? A complete overhaul, one of my previous picks, both in color and techniques. Latest basic tutorial, really. Helped me out try some new methods of coloring. I found it to be a lot quicker and more convenient. I did try to use my own style, but his tips definitely made this a particular pick. I guess this is like an old link or whatever, and that guy, whoever I used some tips of, is not there. There's an old version I did of Snake. I hope most of you agree my newer version is a lot more alive and impressive than the older one. Is it the one that we looked at before? Oops, no, I deleted that shit. Of course, here's a picture of Bane I did from Weapon Lord. I think I showed this to D. James years and years ago, and he was actually, well, it's pretty nice. There's Bane howling at the moon. You got his little breath. It's a nice touch that I decided to put the breath in there because he's in a cold environment. Really lazy background here that I just kind of, again, implied trees. A lot of snow. The snow actually looks quite good. His hand looks pretty goofy. I don't know what's going on over here. But a lot of detail. There is a certain mood to it. So there is that. He doesn't have his weapon with him. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. Little implied booty skull over here. Bane usually has a skull that he wears on his ass for some reason. Probably one of the few pieces of Weapon Lord fan art there's ever been. Here is a Terminator endoskeleton because Terminator, yeah, it's actually pretty decent. Like, metallic shine and stuff is always beyond me. I can see a lot of cheats with the circuitry and all the gears and stuff, but I actually did a pretty good job, I think, of making this shine. You can see just a fucking, again, another photo manipulation from, I believe this is from Terminator 3 that I use this from. I think that's fine for this one. There's not that much detail going on, so just random blues and whites. And you see this hunter killer up there. Just, hey, you guys, keep working. Don't stop working. And we have Q from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. This is awkward, this drawing, because you see he's fucking beating up Dean from Final Fight 3 down there. I don't know what else is doing. So look at this fucking Looney Tunes background. I just have like random lights from like an implied building, even though I have like stars that are overlapping onto the building. There's just searchlights coming from God, I guess. It's really high up in the air. A lazy moon, another implied building. But at least I was like, you know, I gotta start making my own backgrounds, as bad as they are. This does look terrible. Actually, I think the coat's okay. It's very like leathery kind of looking, and I don't get the impression that Q's coat is leathery. I don't know about you guys, but his face looks pretty good. I think his hat is actually wrong. It doesn't look the type of hat. It should be more of a gangster hat, like a 1920s style gangster, but it just looks more like a farmer's cap or something. But I'm not exactly hating this. I think I'm not really implying the grabbing of Dean's shirt too well here. It just looks like it's fucking been super glued onto the back of his fist. But what can you do? Kayako from The Grudge. I was super into The Grudge at this time, so I just wanted to draw a fan art of her. Is that weird? I think it's a little weird. You can see that I love ghostly Japanese characters like this, like, you know, Hisako as well, and Sadako to boot. This isn't too bad. There's some laziness going on, as we've seen so many times before. Just like this. Is the titties just kind of hanging out, even though she should be wearing a dress. I guess that's, again, me just not caring. A lot of random splatters on her skin. Just random blood, I guess. I think her eyes look okay, but again, shadows are all fucked up. Yeah, I'll say that it's pretty unique to see fucking Grudge fan art. I'm glad I did it, I guess. I just saved 50% of my car insurance by switching to Geico. Lol. Kayoko from Ju-on The Grudge. Oh, it's good to know I was like just as not funny as I was back then as I am now. Here we have another picture of one Mr. Hannibal Lecter. This is from Red Dragon. As you can remember in my likes and dislikes, I really like Red Dragon the movie, despite being directed by a scumbag dude, but whatever. So yeah. This is pretty good, actually. This is from a scene in the movie where the light was really, really harsh and bearing down on Anthony Hopkins. And maybe it wasn't as shiny, but it was pretty close. So I think this actually does quite look like him. With the slick back hair, I actually did a pretty decent job. There's minimal coloring here. The white's doing most of the work. I think this little bit of it looks a little off. But otherwise, I'm kind of happy with this. Again, another kind of just nothing background, just kind of blue. That's it. Yeah, it's not bad. I think I kind of got the expression there. A little wrinkle, little eye wrinkles there, just implying age. Even though this movie's supposed to be a prequel, Anthony Hopkins was like 20 years older there. But you know, whatever. What can you do? Been meaning to draw the Good Doctor for the longest time. After a few failed attempts, I thought I should go for simplicity rather than a super detailed, grimacing smile. There's a scene in Red Dragon that has the Doctor in an exercise pen where he's leashed to the floor but allowed to walk around under a series of intense spotlights. I tried to replicate that line and after much trial and error, but I think I captured it pretty well. I don't know, Matt, did you? Yeah. We have more Street Fighter fan art. It has Makoto, implying that she's about to punch Sean super hard in the face. This is kind of done from a first-person perspective. He's just kind of holding on to Sean's gi and he's about to get whacked. This background is not from Street Fighter, oddly enough. It's from Garou, specifically a Gato stage. Again, some laziness on my part. I don't hate this, actually. Her fist is a little off. But there's not much to say. I kind of cheated a lot with Sean's shirt, hiding a lot of stuff there. I'm very Rob Liefeld. We can all... none of us can claim to be amazing, the best artists in the world, but we can all claim to not like Rob Liefeld shortcuts. But, you know, all of us make shortcuts here and there. So you can see I've taken some. And throughout all these pictures, I've taken quite a bit, actually. I'm doing fucking 12 art. Yeah, I am. Jesus. So this is something I sketched when I was at work. When I was doing my job at testing, I would just draw this when I should have been working because I was on a project I hated so much. This is actually Q during one of his supers where he throws the tendrils into the ground and his arms multiply a bunch. I actually quite like this. There's a lot of energy going on. You can see him trying to get like a little painterly, kind of sloppy, but that's the style. I think if I ever got into a style, I was kind of like this. Where I would try to draw like kind of fan art, but just kind of be really loose with it and maybe not so detailed. You can only do that with a couple of different types of characters, and 12 is definitely one of them, but actually like this quite a bit. It's simple but effective. Writer of the art says, with all those tentacles, there's bound to be plenty of third strike hentai. Aw, yeah, buddy. Here's some more of my college art. This was an exercise where you were supposed to look out your window, preferably into the night, and kind of draw your reflection there. So this is me in my room. This is a TV over my shoulder, a fan above the TV. This was the moon. I think this is the reflection of the moon, or the camera I took of it at the time. Not sure what's going on here. This is done with charcoal, I believe, on a white piece of paper. So basically you leave the white in, or no, it's on a black piece of paper. Fuck, can't remember. Here's a water bottle. It actually looks quite nice. You can see some shadows splaying onto like the window frame over there. You can see my big hulking form there. Jesus, I look like fucking Schwarzenegger. That's not accurate. Here you can see an actual attempt at something that's not fan art. This is another college assignment. I think we were told to draw time, and of course I take it really literal. Look, there's like a wolf or like a coyote or some type of dog, and then there's like, oh no, he's dead because of time. And look, time's really fucking evil because it's got bloody fucking numbers. Oh no, it's a bleeding skeleton. Like, come on. Really, really on the nose there, Matt. What did I write down here? A symbolic I drew they had to do for class. I used markers only here, and we had to represent something here, so I chose time, death, life cycle, etc. Well, I obviously put a lot of work in here. It's not exactly what I wanted. Plus, the clock looks a little cheesy. God, I even knew it back then. The skeleton came out pretty well, though. And that's all that matters. But yeah, one of my maybe not the best things I've ever done back in college. But I guess it's not awful. This was a painting I did. I called it Tetris Hell. They were just told to do something kind of abstract, and this is what I came up with, basically. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is stuff you don't know what the fuck you're going to do. You just start painting, and things just come out. And yeah, I believe I started with making like a gradient background here from black to dark blue to light blue to white. And then after that's been dried, I started going over it because you can see a lot of blue splotches. A lot of the yellow has a greenish part of it because it's on top of the blue. And I guess it's called Tetris Hell. That's a stupid name. I'm a fucking idiot. These aren't even real Tetris pieces. And it looks like they're all degrading and just getting destroyed. Like they're like being sent into hell or something like that. It's actually not bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever painted. But I wouldn't be hanging it up on my wall anytime soon. Okay, so Shoryuken.com had a sort of Christmas contest or something, and it needed to be fighting game related. So I did this weird Zangief thing. I don't know. I was trying to make it like a storybook for children. So yeah, and so after many adventures, the Russian Tsar of Wrestling finally met Santa Claus. So I have implied adventures here. I killed a bear. He ran for president. And he's sleeping with a little snot bubble. It looks awful. Dan, I would like to do anti-air move, bigger throw reach, more kick priority, and maybe a projectile like hammer and sickle. Spazzy Boy Borsha, Mr. Claus. I think I looked that up to know what it meant. I think it's Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or something. So of course Santa can't deal with the fucking girth of Zangief on his lap. Yeah, that's it. It's kind of embarrassing. You can see I intentionally colored out of the lines to more imply a children's storybook. It's kind of cute. There's a charm to it, but I kind of wish like Santa, like looks like Santa kind of died. He's kind of looking off in the distance. He sees the Grim Reaper. It's a little dark for me, actually. Yeah, this didn't win anything. Here we have Moonlight. This was done for a very quick charity drive thing that my college participated in. We were given about like an hour or so. I forget how much time. And this is just what I painted up really, really quickly. So you can see it's kind of like an Asian temple or like, you know, cabin or something. And I have little fireflies going around this lantern. Did this really, really quick. My mom, of course, actually wound up buying it at the charity drive. And I was like, Mom, do not buy it. And someone else that wasn't my fucking parents did want to buy it. And they were bidding back and forth for a little bit. And I was kind of like going, yeah. All the artists, there's other people in my class and such. They're watching the bidding going on after they finish their paintings. And I was like, no, Mom, please don't buy it. It's super embarrassing. Just like, I'm actually really happy someone else wants it for fun that I don't know. Some other adult at the time. And my parents were like, no. And they thought I meant like, yeah, keep buying it. But fucking, oh, it was so embarrassing. But do I even talk? A quick 2-hour paint. So it's 2 hours. I did for a charity event. Just a little Japanese scene at Moonlight. It's very basic and not super painterly, but I think it's nice. It went for $280. Yay, but I only got 10% of that. Boo. It's like me going, fuck charity. But yeah, it sold for $280, so that's nice. That's a figure. I just wish my fucking parents hadn't been the ones to fucking buy it. Here we have Inner Workings. This is another college thing, obviously. This is something I did maybe last year or two, I think. I can't really remember. You can see there's this musculature of this man from behind. You see the buttocks kind of implied a little bit. And you can see on either side of him, there's other elements of the human body. I think this was like brain synapses. These were intestines. These were blood cells. And this, I have no fucking clue what this was supposed to be. Does anyone know? The ear canal, the penis? I don't know what part of the human body is blue. I don't know fucking know. One of my favorite paintings of mine from last year. Each section underneath the body is a part of the human structure. Top left is skin cell membranes. That's what it is. Top right is brain synapses. Bottom right is intestines. The bottom left is blood cells. So yeah, brain synapses. No, wait. No, fucking skill cell membrane. I think I just put it blue for like fucking visual color variety. This is still in my apartment to this day. I have it somewhere hidden behind a door or something like that. Because I took some of these back home. My parents were like, "Do you want these? We're gonna throw them out." I'm like, "Yes, I want a few of them, but not all of them." So this is the one I kept. This is a piece of art that has a little bit of infamy. Some of you out there might recognize it as the intro title card for the Berserk LP me and Liam did once upon a time. Liam just somehow found my DeviantArt. I don't know how he remembered, and he just put the little fucking cranky construct faces on both me and Casca and just called it a day. So yeah, this pose is from you know, some random page of the manga, and I just fucking put a background from Princess Mononoke. This is where the forest spirit walks around, I believe. Just blurred it, put some like floating things. I don't know why they're making out in a swamp. That seems a little dangerous. I don't know. I did a little bit of the grass here. It doesn't look right at all. They're just kind of like they're sitting on the very edge of it. They're kind of hovering off the ground. It's pretty lazy, all things considered. I don't have a lot of romantic art, okay? I have zero of it, actually. So, you know, there you go. Alright, we're getting there. This is definitely matte, isn't it? Looming, that's the name of it. One of my paintings from my last art class. Not really any deep metaphorical meaning. Didn't really think about it beforehand. Didn't slave at it to get at a very perfect detail, like all my classmates did. Oh. But I do take pride in the fact that while I was doing this, I think I was the only one having fun at the time. And that counts for something. I just wanted something cool and dark looking because I'm an edgelord, or I was back then. So yeah, this is actually definitely in my apartment. It's behind my entertainment unit, actually, because I used it as a spooky decoration for when I had our big Halloween party. I really like this part of it, the teeth of the skull becoming kind of like, I envision this as a mass graveyard, and these are all like little tombstones, and there's just blood dripping. You see blood dripping this way. I put like a bunch of really fresh wet paint on the top, and then turn the painting upside down, and then let it drip down like kind of in the opposite angle. And I thought it gave a pretty cool effect. This part here I don't really like. I should have continued this all over the place and such. It just kind of ends halfway, but and I wish I kind of implied these eyes a bit more with like just I saw what I was going for here, but I could have done it way better. It could have been way more subtle and somewhat spookier. This is not great, this part here, but the rest of down here I really enjoy. So I don't know what I'm going to ever do with this painting. If you want to buy it, you know, contact me on my Twitter or whatever. You can have an original McMuscles piece. All right. It's time for some OCs. Oh, shit. This is Rune Valens. Please don't make fun of me. I had this kind of mythology in my head way back when. Kind of like a Nordic sort of feel, like, you know, very swords and sorcery type thing, magic and mana, and there were a bunch of warring families and such. Well, not really warring families, there's just a couple of families, and there's this overall threat that's coming. This is Rune Valens. He's the pro tag. He's fucking lame as shit. Look at this fucking guy. He's got an axe, of course, with a big dumb Photoshop lens flare. He's got all this shit. Look at the fucking, what the fuck is this? He's got a dumb, stupid braid that just kind of gets in the way of his fur trim thing. And then there's this fucking, like, a weird vestlet. And this stupid chest plate. And just a random gold chain. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's really bad. Like, I guess he has an Iori Yagami belt. Just confining his arm to be like only a 90-degree movement of whatever the fuck's going on in his back. Big stupid phoenix thing on this. I don't know what the fuck. There's all these cod pieces. It's fucking stupid. It's really bad. Don't talk about Rune Valens. Rune's not a bad name though. God, here's another OC. It's fucking Discordia. Is super bad. You can see that I love Lulu a little bit. She's meant to be a witch. Not a witch, but like, you know, a nature person living in the forest, and she knows magic and shit. She's got big dumb energy balls hanging around her fucking fists. She's got big fucking yabos are all fucked up, and then she's got the fucking gothic piercing with the shoelaces in her chest. There's a stupid skull attached to her shoulder, and more dumb spikes. Dumb little tribal tattoo, and just half regular hair, half dreads. Oh my fucking Christ. Okay, no more OCs. This is something very different. This is a sculpture I did of a dragon, and it was a bunch of soldered metal. I curved it and shit, and it had a kind of like a spinal cord. It was meant to be kind of like a puppet, like, you know, that you would see on a parade or something. This is not the best picture of it, but both these are either side of its face, and I draped this material on it, try to weather it just to give it, you know, something. It's fucking lame. It's really bad. And here you can see the art room that I was in at the time. It's fucking oh god, I hate those fucking stools. God, I have so many memories of this. You can see it's suspended from the ceiling, which is kind of neat. I kind of like my idea, but I probably could have done this so much better. I don't know what I was thinking with the head. I wish you could guys see it. It's kind of implied dragon. You can kind of see it. Dragon! That's what I should have called it, but not my fondest memory. Here's one of my fondest memories. This is a really early illustration I did for one of my first classes in for art in college, and this is all done by hand. Every single point on his fur, every single little mark there, I did with a pen and ink. There's a really fucking shitty mountain range that makes no sense. The wolf is the main thing here. He looks quite good, I still think, to this day. But, you know, pen and ink, it's hard to get across, you know, nighttime on a mountain range that's kind of basically white. Tons of fucking irresponsible cross-hashing all over there. There's a nice little moon and some shitty looking clouds. But at the time, I was super proud of this. I think the grass looks pretty cool. I was trying to imply a shadow of the wolf there. I think I got it all wrong. Little rocklets, just to kind of give some sort of sense of nature there. I think I still have this at my parents' house. I don't think I threw it away, I don't think. But again, if you want this, just please let me know at PayPal. I mean, on my Twitter or whatever, or just drop a comment if you want this Matt McMuscles original. Here we have the Sand Wraith from Prince of Persia Warrior within, so you can see where my head was at the time. Let me go. So I tried to do this very sloppy and painterly. There's just a lot of like really fast brushing all over here with just random splotchy heads on the pen. It's not terrible. It's more in line with the concept art of Prince of Persia Warrior Within, or you know, Prince of Persia games in general. And it's just sloppy background as well, just purple whatever lights. I don't know what the fuck's going on. You know, not my favorite thing, but it was definitely something I didn't spend a lot of time on, and it shows. We can see one of my more famous bits of fan art I've done. This is actually for the Udon Darkstalkers tribute. They had the, you know, fan art section, and I tried to do this old school Dimitri poster that was meant to invoke some of the old movies. Now, Udon's done a lot of these, like in the last year or two. I did this like 10 years ago almost, I think. I forget exactly what year this was. And I worked my ass off to try to get this. I really wanted to get into that contest. Unfortunately, my art was not chosen at all. I was really disappointed. And, you know, this is when I was like kind of just falling out of love with drawing myself. I just didn't think I had what it takes, and I wasn't really growing that much, and, you know, I was doing the same stupid mistakes and being lazy and wanting, you know, shortcuts here and there. But I still really like this. Wooly actually gave me some advice on this at the time when I was doing it. I believe he said to add this: chills, terror, midnight bliss. And I think he wanted me to redo this Dimitri in this kind of colored font with red going into orange. I think those were his main sort of tips. So you can see Capcom Pictures presents Dmitri Maximoff, Morgan Island, Dimitri. A tale more shocking than Demon's Cradle. So you can see that it's like, you know, the 1930s golden age of vampire movies and whatnot. You can see Morgan. God, I spent so much time on this fucking hair with little curly cues, hair drills. And I worked really hard to try to get an aged look on the poster, put scratches on it and such. Even then, I don't think I was completely successful. I still think it's the sort of composition is good, some bats flying around. It works overall, but her eye, this is supposed to be a closed eye, and she's got like you know, a lot of eyeshadow on, and that looks kind of shit. And overall, I'm not. I can see maybe why they wouldn't pick it or anything, but I'm still happy with it at the time. And I thought it was a really good idea. And there was no one in the Darkstalkers tribute book that did have an idea like this, and I was always kind of fucking bummed that they never got in. And I did do the background myself too. Looking at this, tons of regret. I could have been a fucking Udon megastar. This is another piece of art I did for another Udon card contest, the Street Fighter Tribute, and again, did not get picked. I loved Alex, or I still love Alex, and he was like my favorite Third Strike character, Street Fighter character in general almost, and I wanted to show him getting ready for a fight, like he's about to get into the ring and such. You can definitely tell I did this background all myself because it's kind of not great. I think the only thing I didn't draw myself was this American flag. I think I took an existing American flag and warped it to make it look like it's, you know, pinned up to the wall. You can see these are like dusty old posters of various other matches that were going on throughout the years, and there's like licenses for things, and this is a drawing of a guy with a little dumbbell. This is Hugo over here, and this is Alex just psyching himself up, strapping on his gloves, waiting on a little bench, and it's like a seedy, like, you know, gym or whatever. You have a heavy bag over here. I think the concept is really good. I think there's some stupid things about it. I think I went about the shading the wrong way. Some parts of it look good. Some parts of it look not great. I think I did much better with the Dimitri poster. But yeah, this is my Street Fighter one that also didn't get picked by Udon. Oh well. And here's the final thing we'll look at today. This is basically more of a design sort of job. I wanted to make my own No More Heroes 2 poster. And this is official art of Travis, obviously, and everything I did was everything else. You could probably say I overdid it in some places. This is the Santa Destroy Shattered Star. I think that looks good. Clearly, I went hard on this yellow color scheme. I have a lot of blood splatter that's made to be black ink. I think that looks kind of good. It's stretched out way too much. I like the usage of the palm trees over here. I think that looks good. Framing's not too bad. I like the 51 there, but overall, I don't really know. I don't think the yellow color scheme really enhances Travis that much. Like, he's blues and reds, so I don't know how much yellow works with this. But I committed to it, obviously. Yeah, and that's kind of all I want to talk about today on Matt Troll's his own DeviantArt. I do have some other art in there that you know, I didn't have much else to say about it, so feel free to look at it if you want. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stroll down memory lane. It's kind of weird. If you did like this video, also let me know so I won't waste time on it in the future. I just thought I was actually inspired by doing this by seeing Aaron's from Game Grumps' videos of Aaron looks at his old art, and I thought that, oh, that's a fun idea. Like 10 years later, I'll look at my old bullshit. I'll look at all the shortcuts I took and like things I just straight up copied and whatever, and my lack of style. But you know, there they are. I hope some of you, or maybe your eyes are now widened at your understanding of me, and maybe we'll do something like this again in the future. Hopefully, maybe, sort of. I don't know.